Good evening. Welcome. Welcome to our future T-Bolts as well as parents. Welcome. Tonight we are going to further our journey together in that seamless transition to become a T-Bolt. We're excited that you're here with us tonight. I'm Dr. Othman. I'm very proud to be the principal here at Andrew High School. You're going to talk to some folks tonight a little bit further about the transition process. You met them the last time you were out here with us, and I'm excited. We're just waiting for a couple people to get seated up on top before I get going. I just want you to know that you are in the best high school. You made the perfect decision to live exactly where you live, to be here at Andrew High School. Yes, round of applause for that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, our success, obviously, we are a very distinguished school in many areas. We are an AP honor roll school, which not many schools get that delineation. And we have been Southland's best high school now for 2 years in a row, which means we are voted by the community as Southland's best high school. So again, kudos to our community for those nominations and the vote. Our successes come from two key elements that I want to talk to you about tonight. One is the strength, obviously, of the supportive community here. And two, it's from the unwavering commitment of the people in this building. We like to foster, the staff here are ready. They just want to support, and they want to foster curiosity for students so that they're engaged in whatever they want to become. Some of you already know what you want to be when you grow up. Some of you already talked about it, you have an idea, and that's fine. Other future T-Bolts may not know what they want to become. But I want to talk to you tonight about a couple things as you think about this process. Think about what you like, what you're passionate about, and what you don't like. If you don't like something, do not sign up for an elective that you don't care for, just to check the box. Think about the things that you do like. For example, I didn't like math, so I didn't become a math teacher. It seems simple, but sometimes students, for whatever reason, decide, well, I'll just do this because my friend's doing it. No, do what you like. Do what you're passionate about. And we have so much to offer here, and you're going to hear a little bit more about that tonight from those that are going to talk to you. Tonight's about easing the transition to middle school. It's about talking to you on how to emphasize there is no singular T-Bolt. Every single student has a different journey. Everybody has, even though we come as one, as a T-Bolt family, every single one of you is unique in your own way. And in your house, your parents will say, because I lived through it, I have 4 children. We fed them the same. We were the same 2 parents. We raised them the same. Every single one of them is different. And I look and say, how is that? Totally different, right? No two are alike. And that's what we pride ourselves on here at Andrew, is when we come together, we become that T-Bolt family. Regardless of that uniqueness that everybody brings, we pull it together and we find your strengths and try to figure out what's going to work for you. And one of the things that I want you to be mindful of is whatever you're enjoying right now in your school, the subject that you like, maybe something that you're doing outside of school, something that you enjoy. Maybe if it's something like you do service with your family, you're passionate about it as a family. Maybe it's something that you do for a sport or a club or activities. We're going to be able to build on that here, and that's our intent. We're going to be able to grow those things that you like. All right? But again, when you go home tonight, I want the parents to do me a favor. I want the adults in the room, the families. I want the families of our students. All right? I want you to think about and talk with our future T-Bolts about their courses, about their electives. Have that conversation and say, yeah, let's talk about it. What are you interested in? What do you like? You're curious about music, but you never got a chance to take a music class? This is the time to do it. Do you like cooking? Do you enjoy dabbling in that on the side? We have cooking classes. You're interested in entrepreneurship? Businesses, you know that you might be working in a family business or you're interested in having your own business. We have entrepreneurship classes. You're good with your hands. We have courses, construction, you can build. Art, creative, you want to try something, ceramics, you think it, we have it. You name it, I'll help you find it. All the people around the room will help you, will guide you towards it. But that conversation tonight is my one ask for the families, for the adults present in the room, is to make sure that you talk about it and that you discuss those things. You know, there are times when we see students come through here and they say, I want to be an engineer. I love that. You want to be an engineer and not take one engineering class. And you say, why? It's free. It's right here. It's offered to you. Help yourselves. Make sure that you get the opportunity to do so. So again, that's my one ask of the parents tonight. I hope you oblige me with that one request before I hand you off to Mrs. View, who's going to talk to you a little bit further about this. The neat thing about being here at Andrew High School is you get to dream big. You know, think about all the things that you're curious about, your aspirations. Andrew High School is the perfect place to explore. Please take the time and to do so. This journey is so exciting. It's filled with so many opportunities, with support, not only for the students, but also your families. You know, we become one together. We're going to connect all as a group, and we're excited to do so. I thank you for the families for choosing Andrew High School. We are blessed that you chose us, and in return, every single one of the adults that you're going to meet tonight and see tonight honors and cherishes that. We are going to take care of your children. These future T-Bolts are in great hands, and we're excited to kick off the night. I'm going to ask Mrs. View to come on over. You're going to meet our guidance director, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Othman. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Let me see if I can get this mic back in here. Okay, so I wanted to go over a couple of housekeeping things for you this evening. This entire presentation is being recorded with our lovely box in the bottom right-hand corner. You'll be able to see us and hear us talk through the entire presentation. So we will be posting that on our Class of 2029 webpage after the presentation for reference in the future, or for any neighbors or friends who may have missed the presentation. Quick overview of this evening. You have a folder in front of you that has your placements and some handouts that we're going to go through in detail. We're going to talk about the enrollment and course selection process, overview of the placement process, academic supports, summer school, our event in April, and then the next steps. After the presentation, we will have in the main gym our technology and guidance departments available for support, as well as all of our division chairs and administration there to answer any questions you have about your student's placement or the next steps in the transition process. So let's kick it off with some nuts and bolts about the enrollment process. So all of you, there's 7 steps to enrollment: Skyward access, virtual course selection, our enrollment form, which you are all doing a great job in, health documents, residency, online verification, and schedule release. So I'm going to walk you through each step. The first one is Skyward access. So all of you will received a Skyward access email in December, and what the prompt said, if you do not have a current student, the prompt asked you to reset your password, which sounds a little funny to some. You don't have a current password, but that is the step to access a new Skyward account. If you have a current student at Andrew, our technology department went through and started linking some of our families. But if you have a current student and you do not see your Class of 2029 student in your current Skyward profile, please stop by the main gym after, and we will link those families together so that you can see all of your students in one access portal for Skyward. Again, too, if you cannot access Skyward, so no current student and did not receive the email, stop by and we will help you get through Skyward. Skyward is our student information system, so it's not just part of the enrollment process, but it is how you will monitor your students' attendance, progress, grades, and communication moving forward throughout high school. The enrollment form is available. That information was sent to you over winter break as well, and the enrollment form is a very important part of this process. We receive all of your information from your current feeder schools, and that is how we have communicated thus far. So some of you might be saying, Well, my spouse is receiving the emails, but I want to be receiving the emails. The completion of this enrollment form is how you can make sure that you're verifying and giving us the correct phone numbers and email and contact information for you moving forward. In here, too, you will make sure that your physical address is correct. And I'll go over that a little bit in residency. But this address that is put into your enrollment form is how we check to assure that you are within our Andrew boundaries. And if we need any additional information from you, we will request that in the summer. Home language survey is part of our enrollment form. This is required for all students, and your responses on the home language survey would determine if we need to do any access testing or reach out to you for further information. To complete this form, it's important to know, and it says when you go into the form, you have to upload your student's birth certificate in order to submit this form. You are able to complete portions of the form and save your progress, but in order to fully submit it, we will need a copy of your student's birth certificate. And then emergency contacts, and this kind of sounds silly to some. We ask that you, in case of emergency, when the primary or secondary parent or guardian is not available, that you please identify an additional family member or neighbor in case of emergency we're not able to get a hold of you, that you can supply us with that information. When you submit the enrollment form, our guidance office is processing all of that information. We go through line by line, and we verify that is correct, and that uploads our Skyward system. Ooh, lights out. There we go. If there is anything that is incorrect, you will receive an email notification that says the form was denied, and it will specifically tell you what you need to do in order to submit that form again. Okay? You can see in the top right-hand corner, this enrollment form is a little tile in your Skyward account, and everything is submitted through Skyward, so it's all in one place for you. Health documents is a little bit different. Health documents are submitted through our Laserfiche form. This slide outlines, but our health web page will give you the actual form. So a student's emergency contact is required for our health office as well. The health exam and dental exam forms are available on our website for you to print and bring to your providers. A lot of times, too, the providers already have that form, but the instructions for how to submit those forms are all on our health webpage for you to complete. March 31st is for the emergency contacts, but May 1st is the deadline for all of our health exams and dental exams. It's important to know that a sports physical does not fulfill the requirements for the health exam. Residency, I mentioned the importance of assuring that the address that we have in the enrollment form is correct. Our district uses a program called CLEAR to run the address that you provide us through that system and look at the accuracy of proving residency through that system of the address you provided. Should we have any questions or need additional documentation, we will reach out to you in May, early June, and give you the steps of enrollment residency information that we need. But for right now, in case you had older kids go through and needed to do residency, there's nothing that you need to do with residency. You just want to make sure the address you provided in the enrollment form is correct. I strongly encourage and ask nicely of you, if you do move prior to enrollment, please contact the guidance office and we will walk you through the steps that you need to submit the residency documents so we have all the correct information. And then online consent and payment. So this is another step. You'll go through these steps right now. The enrollment form, the health forms. In the summer, all students, current students, every student every summer has to go through the online consent form, fees, and payment. So you'll receive an email in the summer that outlines exactly how to complete that. In that form, you are signing our technology, our parent-student handbook, and photo consent, some different steps that I'll walk you through. So that is the final step of enrollment that you will receive in the summer. If your student has an IEP, Cheryl Russell, Director of Special Services, attended your student's 8th grade meeting this year or will be in attendance if it has not been scheduled thus far. If your student has a 504, the guidance office oversees all 504s, and those will be sent to me over the summer. So they're not able to transfer that information to us until you have completed your journey in junior high. They will send that information to us in the summer, and then counselors will be the case manager for your students with 504s and will reach out to you for an introduction prior to the start of the year. If you have questions on 504s anytime during the summer or leading up to that, please contact me. I am the individual that can help support and answer any questions that you have. So that's the nuts and bolts portion of it. Okay? The second part that we want to go into is course selection. So all of you this evening received an additional copy of your course selection paperwork. The next steps will be scheduling your course selection meeting, exploring the classes like Dr. Othman talked about, completing the worksheets which are included in your folder, and then attending your virtual course selection meeting. Okay. Course placements, as I mentioned, Dr. Ladiak, the DCs will be available in the main gym if you have questions on your placements. Just wanted to let you know you have those. They were also emailed and they are available in Skyward. So there is another tile in your Skyward that says course requests. That tile will show you your course placements. Please note, and some of you with older students might be used to this, you cannot enter any course requests. Once our current students are with us, our freshmen, sophomores, and juniors, they actually go in every year and add their course requests. You do not need to do anything in this tile. It's just simply a reference for you. The counselor, when you meet with them, will enter your course requests and make any changes needed. So scheduling your course selection meetings. All of our course selection meetings are virtual. They will be held January 29th, 30th, and February 1st. I looked this evening and a lot of our Wednesday dates are filled up already, but plenty of availability on Thursday and Saturday. There are plenty of appointment times for all families to engage in this process. Great question I received from a family the other day. It does not matter what order, time, date your course selection meeting is. This is simply our time to collect all of the course requests, and then we go into building the master schedule. So there is no priority if you get in on Wednesday morning or Wednesday afternoon for the first appointment versus Saturday. So please rest assured this is not like college. We're just collecting the information during this time. The sign up is in Skyward. It is a tile 2029 virtual conferences. If you schedule a meeting and need to change that meeting, you are able to go back in and cancel that original meeting and schedule a new meeting. Important to know, there will be a counselor listed in your student's profile. That is not your student's counselor and may not be the counselor that your student meets with. That is simply a way for us to build out the scheduling for all students. School counselors will be announced in schedule release in August, so just so you know that information. The virtual meetings will be via Zoom, and the link will actually be in that virtual conference tile as well, and we will email it out to you. So when it is your time, you'll simply log into that Zoom link. I would recommend testing out your Zoom link. They do updates often, and sometimes it could take a little bit longer. So I would test out your Zoom app on your phone or a personal device. You'll log into that link, and then when you come, you'll go into a waiting room, and then we will place you with a school counselor that will talk to you about your course placements and talk to you about your electives. Students are required to attend this meeting. They should be at the forefront of this meeting as it's their electives that they're going to be selecting. We understand that sometimes things come up and they might not be available, but this is definitely an opportunity for students to come meet with a school counselor, voice those electives, ask any questions that they have so that they can finalize their course selections. Okay. Dr. Othman talked a lot about this. On our Class of 2029 webpage, we have all of the resources that you need to help you with the exploration process of reading and learning about all of the courses we offer here at Andrew High School. So please take some time between now and your virtual course selection meeting to explore those opportunities. Okay. In your folder, you have a yellow handout that is a course selection worksheet. This is going to be key. So you have one page is a course selection worksheet, and the other page is the Class of 2029 course code sheet. Okay. The course code sheet lists all of the courses that are available for freshman students. So that is a good place to go and start exploring the different electives that are available. Upon reviewing those electives, you then would want to go into our course offerings guide and read about what the actual class is. I cannot stress this enough. It's important the title might sound fun, but you also want to read and learn a little bit more about what they're actually doing within that class. Okay? You'll go through and you'll circle your top choices. You'll explore and learn a little bit more about them. And then in the course selection worksheet, this is a guide that will walk you through step by step in what you need to be selecting. Course placements and core courses have already been selected for you. If there are any courses that you want to waive, Dr. Ladiak will talk more about that. But this virtual course meeting will be specifically about elective selection. Okay? World language is an optional elective course, so it is not quite required for graduation, so that's something important to know. We offer multiple languages, so if your student is interested, we encourage them to explore all the different opportunities. Social studies is also an optional freshman course. However, there is a placement recommendation on your course sheet. Okay? So it is up to you and your student to decide if social studies will be taken during freshman year, but we gave you guidance on what level course that would be, and this is also one of our most popular questions with our school counselor, so they can help talk to you about that as well. Music courses count as an elective space, and then any of our support classes may count as an elective space too. So you really want to plan out. When you look at that schedule, you'll have 2 spaces first semester, 2 spaces second semester. Some of our freshman students like to look at 0 hour. I want to remind all of you that 0 hour is at 7 a.m. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, which means you need to be here before 7 a.m. ready for those courses. It is a big commitment that I just strongly encourage, especially going into freshman year, that you talk about this. If you have difficulty now getting up for school, but have really strong, high ambitions for first semester, freshman year of high school of taking a 0 hour, go for it. But I really want you to consider that, right? Because we want this to be an enjoyable experience. We want to welcome you to the school. It's an opportunity. 0 hour is offered every single school year. On the course selection sheet, you will see the classes that we offer during 0 hour. If a student selects 0 hour, it doesn't guarantee that that is the class that student will be scheduled for 0 hour. Okay, so that's also something important to know. Parents, I'm going to ask you for your guidance on this one too. You know your students, but students, you know yourself. And if you're ready for it, go for it. But really have a good conversation about the 0 hour, especially first semester freshman year. And then alternates. So on the bottom of that worksheet, we ask all students to select 2 to 4 alternate courses. Again, I mentioned we base our courses off what you select. However, there are times that 2 courses run at the same exact time, and it may only be running once. And so if that happens, we want to make sure that your student has selected classes that, should that be placed in their schedule, they're excited to take. Every single year we ask students to add alternates. It is just part of our process to make sure that you're looking and exploring, and should something not work out, that we have an opportunity to select another course for you. There are also times that courses don't run due to low enrollment. So we just want to make sure that we have those conversations so that when we're going through that process, we have options to put in there for you. Virtual course selection meeting. Can't encourage you enough to arrive on time. You can get there a little bit early. Students must be in attendance, and you want to come prepared with this information. Okay? The more preparation you do, the more time you'll have to talk to counselors and ask any questions you have, maybe sort out any things that you have. So please do your homework prior to those meetings, and know that our school counselors go through this every year. They're excited to welcome, they're excited to meet you and help you in the process of finalizing your electives and courses. After course selection on February 3rd, you will receive a Parent Square notification. You might notice that you're getting text messages that say, please see your email. That is our way of making sure we are hitting multiple ways of contact. You will be able to view the final courses that have been entered for your student. So you'll be able to go in there and see the elective courses, see if you made a waiver change request, that those have been processed and are part of your course selection. After February 5th, we will not be able to make any changes to your students' course selection. So please take the time to review and prepare for that, but know that you will get the opportunity to see those final requests go in, and in that will be included a form should you need any changes or have any questions that you need to discuss. Schedule release will be in August. All of the steps to enrollment must be complete in order for your student's schedule to be released. So the sooner you get working on that, the better. I'm super proud of our class of 2029 because we already have about 250 enrollment forms in, and that's about half the class. So great work in all of that. You are on top of it. Any questions you have, please contact the guidance office. We're happy to help you. And then any questions you need with technology, our technology is happy to help you as well. I am now going to kick it over to Dr. Ladiak to talk about course placements. Thank you.
Welcome, class of 2029. I'm very excited to meet with you tonight to talk about course placements. As Ms. View was talking about, there's a lot of stop points along this journey in your transition here to Andrew High School. We understand this is a lot of information, so I just want to reiterate that our whole team is here to help answer any questions that might come along. So if anything develops along the way, don't hesitate to reach out with any questions that you may have. So the first thing that I'd like to talk about you all today is something called the Accelerated Placement Act. The Accelerated Placement Act is a piece of legislation that went through in 2021 that asks that any student who meets or exceeds on standardized local assessments should have access to the highest level coursework at their grade level. So students who met or exceeded on their fall MAP test at their middle school automatically qualify for AP or honors coursework within certain areas. As you can see in the presentation, we took a look at your students' fall score from the MAP exam, which is also indicated on your course placement sheet. And if they met or exceeded in the area of math, they received a course placement for honors math. If they met or exceeded on their English reading and writing score of their MAP, they got placement for honors or AP in the areas of English, social studies, and science. This means regardless of the 8th grade recommendation, regardless of the division chair recommendation, your student automatically qualifies without needing a waiver to get into the course. So you'll be able to see that on your course placement sheet, which we're going to look through in a little bit. Something for us to consider is that we really value getting to know your child in the process and making a recommendation that's best for the student. We do that using historical knowledge of what students have been successful in our honors program and AP program, as well as who's been successful in our academic or our extended programming. So we utilize two different pieces of data. We utilize your 8th grade teacher recommendations, which we received from them this fall, and we combine that with their fall MAP score. Combining these two pieces of information, our division chairs have created the placements that are on your placement sheets. We know, however, that this is not the entire story of your child. There's much more beyond just what is written on that paper, which is why we welcome conversations should you have any questions or concerns about the placements that have been made. So I have an example here for you. You should have all received a copy of your course placements in your folders, as well as a copy of it to one of your parent or guardian emails. If you have that available, now is a good time to reference this as I go through the different aspects that are on that diagram. The first thing that I want to draw attention to is that second column, which includes your student's 8th grade fall MAP score. If you see unavailable, that means unfortunately we did not have access to any score for your student. You might also see a letter at the end of your score, for example, a W. That would indicate that we only have a winter MAP score. We do not have a fall MAP score, so we utilized your child's winter MAP score. Additionally, we do have some privately placed students right now who have provided alternative forms of assessment data, and that's indicated on there as well. In the third column is what we refer to as our accelerated placement. Accelerated placement, again, refers to that fall 2024 MAP score. We look to see what the benchmark was for exceeds and meets on that state assessment. As you can see in this example, the student met on accelerated placement for English. You could see the yes in that column. As a result of that, they automatically qualify to take honors English as a result. In the instance of this student, if we continue through column 4, where it says division chair placement, the division chair has made a recommendation of academic English. So, how did the division chair come to that conclusion? They utilized the student's MAP score combined with the 8th grade teacher recommendation, and the division chair's placement would be for academic English. The key thing to keep in mind as you sit with your counselor for your course selection is that final column, that gold column. In that gold column is the menu of courses that your student is eligible to take without necessitating a waiver. So in the instance of this example that I have here, this student can choose to take either academic or honors English. They can take academic math 1, honors biology, or they can also take academic global issues and or honors AP at the social studies level. All of those courses are available to a student. If on your worksheet you do not see a course that you are seeking, that would mean that you require a waiver. So we're going to talk a little bit about that waiver process here, but please, one last note on this slide is that anything that's indicated with an asterisk is an indication that your student earned accelerated placement. However, that differed from the division chair's recommendation. The student is still eligible to take the course, but we did want to indicate that they were waived in using the Accelerated Placement Act. So if you have questions or concerns about your students' placements that have been made, we encourage you to reach out to the appropriate division chair for the area you're looking in. For example, if your student got a course placement for academic math 1, however you're seeking an honors math 1 placement, we encourage you to reach out to the division chair for mathematics. You can formally make this request by completing the QR code, which is up here. However, it's also on your sheets and linked in the email that was sent to you. We ask that you initiate this waiver process at least 48 hours in advance of your course selection meeting so that our division chairs have the opportunity to review and return to you either via email or by phone call for a further conversation or confirmation that a waiver has been processed. It is also important to note you must submit a waiver separately for each course you are selecting or pursuing a waiver in. So as we start selecting courses, as Dr. Offman and Mrs. View have discussed, there's a lot of different opportunities for your child. A common question that we receive is in regards to our academics and honors AP programming and what the similarities and differences are between these different items. It's important to note that all of our courses at the academic, honors, and AP level prepare students for post-secondary success. Whether that means a four-year university, the trades, the military, or pursuing a career, all of our courses prepare students for those opportunities. For students looking at possibly pursuing an honors or AP route, we do notice that there are some trends among those students. Among them, we do notice that the students are generally coming in at a reading level that is above grade level. For a freshman, that means reading at a grade level of 10th grade or above. They're strong writers. They're also able to navigate multi-step problems and initiate their need for help, and they're also fully engaged in their coursework. We find that they have high executive functioning skills such as time management, organization, they're self-starters, and they have established study habits. If you or your child are thinking if AP or honors is appropriate or the right choice for your child, we have compiled a video that we're going to show you right now from the mouths of some of our students. They are actually now currently sophomores, so they were freshmen when this video was made, but they'll provide some perspective for you on why you may or may not want to consider an honors or AP course. We're going to see if it works. Oh,
I'm a freshman at Andrew High
let's see
School,
some.
and currently I'm in honors.
It might not come through right now. We'll try it one more time. And if not, it'll be included in our resources, which will be online, and that is totally fine as well. All right, we'll move on from that, and we'll share that resource for you as well. So it'll be a video that's viewable for you at home. Essentially, the students do provide an opportunity of talking about their experience in Honors AP as a freshman, as well as the considerations that you might make in making those decisions. In addition to Honors AP, I do want to introduce a couple of other terms that you're going to hear in your students' 4 years at Andrew High School. The first of which is dual credit. If you ever see a course is indicated for dual credit, that means that students can receive university credit while taking the class here at Andrew High School through a VJ instructor who has certifications through the university to do so. So it's a great opportunity to earn college credit while sitting in a high school class. Next, we have interdisciplinary courses. These are courses that become more widely available as your student progresses through their high school career. Interdisciplinary courses combine 2 or more of our departments. So for example, an English and a social studies class that blends the curriculums together to combine common topics and themes. We also have something known as blended courses. Blended courses afford students an opportunity for a non-traditional presentation of coursework. Students in blended courses are able to receive some asynchronous instruction, and if they're being successful in their course, they do not have to come in daily to take that class. Instead, the instructor works with them through a digital platform and provides them feedback and draws them into class on days that are needed for things like assessment or discussions. Finally, another opportunity we have here is something known as Heritage Spanish. Heritage Spanish is offered in our World Language Department. It is for our heritage or our native Spanish speakers. It helps to enhance their culture by focusing on reading, writing, language skills, and there's an opportunity for these students to be able to uniquely come together to explore curriculum. Students who are interested in Heritage Spanish, if you're a Spanish speaker at home, you can take a look at the back of your course placements guide, and there is a QR code with more information about Heritage Spanish opportunities for your student. When you're here at Andrew High School, we know that it's a big transition for you coming from middle school to the high school level. As a result of that, we have a variety of different academic supports. First of all, we have our special services department for our students with IEPs who will receive a variety of different supports based on how their IEP is managed. Secondly, we have something known as our extended programs. Some individuals may see on their course placement sheet a placement into Extended Math 1 or Extended Freshman English. If you have a course placement for one of these, you would have an extended homeroom. That means in place of your traditional study hall, you would have a homeroom period dedicated to supporting your student in that specific subject area. If your student has a course recommendation for both Extended Math 1 as well as Extended English, that would take a full period. As a result of that, your student's full period would be slotted with that. However, you would still have a lunch, and the other side of that lunch would be a study hall. These 2 combined homerooms take the place of an elective opportunity. Next, we have a course called Core Literacy. This is a 1 credit hour opportunity for students to bolster their skills across reading in all content areas. You may find that on your course placement sheet as well. We have an English Learners program for students where we look through MAP scores as well as access scores to determine appropriate supports for those children. And we also have a program called Freshman Success Study Hall, which is targeted for students who are at risk to ensure that they have the smoothest transition possible to Andrew High School. Finally, our other additional assistance, which is very important here at Andrew High School, is something known as the Center. If anyone has a student here at Andrew High School, you have likely heard of these 2 supports. The Center is staffed by our full-time teachers. So we do have 5 full-time teachers in there during the lunch period. So we have 2 math, 2 English, and a science certified teacher in there helping to tutor students, in addition to our student tutors who help to assist. It's a great opportunity for students to drop in, or at times they are mandated to go during their study hall period to receive support across all courses. In addition, we have something known as second period, which is T-Bolt time. Those are our Black intervention days. These are typically held on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, where students have 35 minutes to sign up for a teacher of their choosing, or they can be mandated by a teacher if they're struggling in a class. It's a great opportunity to check in with a teacher, be proactive if you're trying to find some additional success in a course, and ask some questions maybe you didn't have time to get to in class. So we know that that's a lot of information. It's a big decision on what you're going to do, but please do not hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. As Ms. View will point out later, we will be available in the main gym to help answer many of these questions for you. I am going to turn it over to Mr. James Holt, who is our summer school director, to talk to you a little bit about our summer school opportunities. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Just a real quick piece of information here with regards to our summer school offerings. The first option that we have, which really is not going to be applying to any of our students this upcoming summer, but could be an option down the road in the event that your students may not earn a credit that they were attempting to, and that would be through credit recovery. So we do offer credit recovery programs or opportunities for students to try and regain credits that they did not earn during the school year. But more importantly, what could apply to you guys for this upcoming summer, if you are interested, summer school is not a requirement, but we do have some students or incoming freshmen that may choose to try and get a jump start on a couple of different classes, and that would be through our accelerated courses. Our accelerated courses are run in a virtual blended format through one of our course management systems known as Canvas. Some of your teachers might be using Canvas over the course of your next 4 years. The two classes that are available for incoming freshmen, the first one is Consumer Economics. Consumer Economics does take care of one of the graduation requirement. There's a few different classes or courses that would address this over the course of the high school career, consumer economics being one of them. Economics, personal finance, and then our AP Macro course as well. So those are options that they would look at taking one of those over the course of the 4 years. Some students may want to take a class just to kind of get used to the system, maybe free up an opportunity for a different elective over the course of their high school career. There are additional accelerated courses that would be available beyond the freshman year. The other option that we do have for some of our students is a honors biology class. Now, there is a prerequisite for students to be able to take honors biology for this upcoming summer, and that is that the student should currently be taking Honors Math 1 as an 8th grader. So if you see on your course recommendation sheet for next year that they're recommended for Honors Math 2 or potentially higher, they would be somebody that would be eligible to take the Honors Biology, which could give them the opportunity, if they choose to take the Honors Chemistry course, then as freshmen. So those would be the two classes for this upcoming summer that they could look at choosing from. I will be down in the main gym if you do have more questions with regards to any of the summer programming, as well as I am our science division chair as well. So if you have class or questions about science, facts, technology, and engineering, I could take care of that. To wrap everything up for tonight, we have Dr. Othman coming back out for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. I know you received a lot of information tonight, so I'm going to try to wrap up to give you an opportunity to meet some folks and answer any questions that you may have. Just another quick reminder, with us tonight is Mr. Dalton, our Assistant Principal of Activities, as well as Facilities. So he oversees the co-curriculars here at Andrew High School. And behind me is some QR codes. If you're interested in taking a look, we do have a co-curricular fair coming up in April. We welcome you. That's our third night for our future T-Bolts to come and explore what are activities, sports, co-curriculars, clubs that you might be interested in. Our sponsors will be here. You'll be able to talk to them directly. If you're currently in a sport, you'll be able to learn more about that sport that you're in, as well as join some new ones. Here are some QR codes. I encourage you to take a picture on your phone and get that QR code so that you are ready for that April meeting. Again, save the date. This is our last of the parent series with our future T-Bolts is the co-curriculars. I'll get out of the way so you can try to see that. Here, I'll move over. April 23rd. So after the registration process that you heard about tonight, this will be our last of the series for the transition for our future T-Bolts for this year while they're in 8th grade. And speaking of being in 8th grade, because we are so excited to have you come and be a part of our T-Bolt family, We need you to finish strong. We need you to finish this semester, finish your courses, make sure you're doing everything at the best level that you can in order to prepare you for next year. All right? Make sure that you're closing out strong, whatever school that you're at, whether you're at Prairie View, Grissom, Central, whether you're at the private schools coming to us, make sure that you are working diligently to close out. I see a couple of people still taking pictures, so I'll give you a second to wrap that up. Should you have any further questions for us, we are going to be in the main gym. Tonight you saw and you met these individuals, Dr. Ladiak, my associate principal, as well as Mrs. View, our guidance director. We will also have additional folks. Technology will be in the main gym. You're welcome to go over there and ask questions. Our division chairs, if you have course placement questions, you need further help, please feel free to move over to the main gym. We're not going to ask folks to stay in here to answer questions. That way you can get that personalized touch and get one-on-one answers in the main gym. I will be around as well for anyone that needs like general questions or help with anything. We are happy to support that, okay? So thank you very much. Here are the individuals that will be in the main gym, as well as our IEP 504 supports. Mrs. Russell will be in the main gym as well. Mrs. View will help with 504 questions also. So these are the groups in regards to supports that we'll move on to. I really appreciate how attentive you are. You've been a great audience. We are very excited to welcome you to our T-Bolt family. This journey is going to be incredible. Our goal is to make this as seamless as possible every step of the way. Thank you so much for being here tonight on a cold night. I hope you get all the answers that you need. And if you are still uncertain, don't worry. We are going to be with you every step of the way. Thank you, everyone. Please feel free to go to the main gym if you have questions. Thank you.